been going through and coming up with 30 different strategies to either help you write faster, write more, write better, or be able to find more time in your day so that you can reach your writing goals. But this really applies to almost anything in life. One way you can get more done in your day is by batching your tasks. And by batching your tasks, I mean by grouping related tasks together. So sometimes what happens is when we're working on a project, we're doing a bunch of different things at the same time. I know, I've done this before. You know, when we're writing, we're researching, editing, we're writing, we're doing all these things. Or if you're working on, let's say, social media, you're writing the post, you're scheduling the post, you're going in and out of your different social media accounts. And so what I have found to be very effective is to batch my tasks. And so what this means is, for example, choosing a chunk of time and choosing that time to be writing only. No researching, no editing, writing only. But there's a ton of other things that you can do to batch tasks and to get more done. Because what happens is when you batch your tasks and you do the same thing for a certain amount of time, whether it's an hour or 20 minutes or 2 hours, you get into the flow. You get into the flow and you are able to stay in that same flow. So mentally, your mind gets into that particular task, and I'm going to talk about the different tasks that you can batch in a minute. You get in the flow mentally, and then you can get more done. You stay more productive because you're in the flow. Think about when you drive. So if you drive a vehicle, you get it up to 60 miles per hour on the highway. It's a lot harder and it takes a lot longer if you get stuck in traffic and you have to keep slowing down, speeding up, slowing down, speeding up. But if you can stay on cruise control at 60 miles per hour, it's going to take a lot less energy and you're going to get there faster than stopping, starting, stopping, starting, stopping, starting. And that's what happens when we try to switch from task to task to task to task. Even if you're stopping to check email or check social media, things like that, you have to flip a switch. And mentally, it takes more energy and it takes more time because we're stopping, starting, stopping, starting. So you get into the zone, yeah. And the second benefit of batching your tasks is that you have everything there. So the other day, I'm working on my 30-day writing challenge, and the other day I decided to batch tasks. So I created all my graphics in one chunk of time. I created all the graphics. I have a template. I just created all the graphics and I created all the mock-ups. Boom, 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 boom. I had Photoshop open. I had eCover Authority open. And before I knew it, like really in a lot shorter time than I thought, it was done. You know why? Because I did it all in the flow, all the same type of task. All of the tools were open. All of the sites were open. I didn't have to say, okay, now what was my password on that? Where did I save that template? Or it was all right there. And so that's another benefit of batching tasks, is that you have everything right there. And so you're not having to open everything again, get all your tools out again, get your notes out again, get this out again. You're in that software, you're using those tools, and so it goes faster. So here are some ideas of things that you can batch other than writing. What about videos? So I created a different video for each day of the 7-day writing challenge. I created most of those videos in the same day. And a little tip, when you're creating videos in a chunk of time and you don't want someone to know you created them all in the same day, you can change your top. You know, like a lot of these videos, it's like waist up. So if you go into writingweek.com and you go into my members area and you look on each day, I think I did before you begin and day 1 on separate days. And then I think day 2 through day 7 were all the same day. I even did my hair a little different. Like sometimes it was behind my ears. Sometimes it was, you know, I did my hair a little different and I changed clothes. So I don't think you could really tell that I created all of those videos in the same day. I set up my tripod, I set up my iPhone, I have my little Rode Lav microphone here that I use for Periscope too. But I set all that stuff up and I did all my videos. So videos is another thing to batch. Another thing you can batch is social media. So this month with Author Audience Academy, I'm going to be talking about writing evergreen social media tweets and posts. That is a task you can batch. So you can sit down, get in the groove, get in the flow, write all these evergreen tweets and posts, and do that in a section of time. Podcasts. Yesterday was a podcast recording day for me. So I recorded and finished my next 2 podcasts. I had other things going on my day, so I didn't have time to do more, but I got into the flow, I got into the task, and that's something else you can batch. Emails. So instead of checking your email all day, every day, you can batch when you check your email. You can check it in the beginning of the day. You can check it at lunch. You can check it at, you can check it just different times through the day. And that way you're not constantly interrupted, constantly changing your flow all day, logging in and out of email. This is something I'm still working on because that's one of my downfalls. I check into email too much. Another thing you can batch is actually your housework. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll do my housework one main chunk of time for the whole week. Now I know there's little things you have to do here and there, but I'm talking about the main things like cleaning the bathrooms, vacuuming, doing whatever you need to do. That's something that you can do in chunks of time instead of just a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there. And then another idea is cooking. The cooking is something you can do when you're doing like make ahead meals, like you're doing freezer meals. I have some meals that I created that you put into the freezer and then you take them out of the freezer, you let them defrost in the refrigerator overnight, and then you put them in the crock pot. That's awesome for me because I'm busy, I have a lot going on, so I can create these meals in a batch in a few hour period of time. And then like today, I put a meal in the crock pot. It's in there cooking and I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to think about it. It's in the crock pot. It's going to be done. So my challenge for you today is to take action. What is one thing you can batch into a period of time to help you be more productive?